welcome back to the Laker family, where we just wrapped up a better than expected NBA Finals. Um, these were two teams that were not predicted to be here at the beginning of the year. I first want to start this off by saying I congratulate the Milwaukee Bucks, their city, their fans, um, their whole team, their MVP Giannis. They truly deserve it. Um, this is probably the best outcome that could have happened, other than the Lakers hosting the trophy again. But I just couldn't really see another team, especially another Western team, um, the Clippers, the Nuggets. Only the Nuggets only because of Jamal Murray, but they wasn't going to get there no way without him. Um, the Suns, I don't really just hate that team or despise that team. It's just they were doing a bunch of gloating. Their fans were kind of overdoing it. Like, you were supposed to act more blessed that you were in the finals because of the circumstances that happened. Sure, we've seen teams before make it to the finals or even beat a battered team in the finals to get a ring, but it's how you handle it. Like the Suns and their fans were kind of acting a bit classless about it. Um, the Suns were quick to just jump and parade around like they won a championship already when they beat the Lakers. When we had a healthy AD, they were getting pummeled. Like, they had no shot at all. But when AD went down, they were jumping and parading around like they had already done something. So that kind of, to me, that was karma in a way. You had Jay Crowder doing his thing, tweeting this and tweeting that, like just nonsense type of stuff. And they kind of got what they deserved. And I was telling people from the jump, coming into the playoffs, I felt like the Suns were a sleeper team, but the the X factor would be the ascendance of DeAndre Ayton and how high could he rise. He played up and down throughout the playoffs. He had some great stretches and some okay stretches and some very bad stretches. But I told y'all, I said he is not Joel Embiid. And I said if he can get close to a Joel Embiid, that would put the Suns in a different stratosphere. Because they already have the shooting guard, the point guard. They just needed that dominant, offensive-minded big man down low. And it seemed like to me sometimes DeAndre Ayton did get the bad end of the stick. The Suns would not really feature him a lot, and then they would expect him to give them some consistent ISO buckets after just going so long of a stretch without giving him a touch. I felt like they wasn't really rewarding him enough. And as big man, as we all know in the NBA, big men can kind of get a little bit mentally fragile when you're not rewarding them. It starts affecting them on the defensive side of the ball. So he got put in some tough spots. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that, but he did not ascend nowhere near close to an offensive type of level of a Joel Embiid for them to count on. So it goes both ways. He didn't aggressively assert himself there, and the Suns really didn't do him any favors by not rewarding him enough. He was like kind of an afterthought, and then when they gave him the ball, it was like, okay, do something, make a play, and he would either miss, and then they would go 12 or 15 more plays without giving him another touch again. So that was kind of bad coaching too on Monty Williams' part, which Monty Williams is a great coach and a great guy. I wish nothing but the best for him and everything he's accomplished. It's just he had some questionable decision making that ultimately cost them too in the finals. He stuck with a game plan, and it's kind of some of the similar stuff the Laker fans what we experienced with Frank Vogel, just sticking to a game plan that's clearly not working. You can't expect to keep giving Giannis the same look and him not figure it out. Um, that ultimately cost them. And combined with the fact that I felt like Devin Booker, although as good as he's always been able to score, he did not rise to the occasion. He didn't ascend to that next tier in order for them to overcome Giannis. Uh, Booker had like probably two good games this series. Other than that, it was kind of not good enough. Like the closeout game, he only had like 19 points, 8 of 22 from the floor, 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. This is the guy that Stephen A. Smith said was the next Kobe. I throw that in there. Um, and this is not to bash Booker because he didn't put that on himself. The silly Suns fans and the media, Stephen A. Smith, those guys, they put that on him, and that's way too much pressure to put on him like that. So he didn't really just rise to the occasion like he was supposed to. Um, I felt like the Bucks did a tremendous job defensively, uh, especially grabbing rebounds. They won the rebounding battle throughout the whole series. They just played with more grit and grind than the Suns did. Uh, Middleton, I feel like he finally stepped out of the shadows into a spotlight. You can no longer just look at Middleton as an afterthought. You have to put a little bit more um, zing behind his name now. He should have more clout behind his name now. The way he stepped up and played in the playoffs, particularly in the finals. The guy was like the closer. Um, Giannis would do all the MVP type of work, and Middleton would just be knocking down dagger after dagger. Even the last game, which he kind of struggled, um, he still found a way to make himself valuable because he's stepping up on the defensive side of the ball now. Uh, I feel like he should now uh, be mentioned with like the Paul Georges, those number two superstars on the team. I feel like he ascended from just an all star to at least a Paul George type of player because he can do play both sides of the ball particularly well now. So great job of Middleton and steadily improving his game over the years, and it's amazing to see where Giannis and Middleton came from. Middleton was a D leaguer. I mean, they both have crazy stories. Giannis, he joked about he and Middleton was the lowest rated players their first year in the league on 2K14, and just look from then to now. I don't think I've never ever seen a story like this, and it's just amazing, a great story. And here we were feeling like we didn't have any great storylines heading into the finals this year, but that in itself is a great testament to just keep grinding, keep honing your craft, not settling, not becoming complacent, feeling like you've already made it. You always got to keep that hunger, and I'm happy for him. Giannis, he's an easy guy to root for. He's very humble. I mean, just all around great guy, great player, and that leads us to really the debate of who's the best player now, and we kind of fall into a trap of uh, interchanging best player out every single year, and where does that get us? Just more debating. It's nothing that has been really concrete over the last what 4 years. I want to say because like the year before LeBron came to the Lakers, and you could probably say LeBron, but remember when LeBron came to the Lakers and then they missed the playoffs, and people were no longer looking at him like the best player. They was trying to look elsewhere. Then the next year, I think, the next year, we got AD, and who won it? Oh yeah, Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard won it in the absence of the year that we missed the playoffs. So then everybody was jumping on Kawhi's bandwagon. He was the best player. This, that, and the third. Then LeBron comes back. Now everybody jumps back. LeBron's the best player. And to me, it's just people are just kind of going with whoever ends up standing last. And that's kind of fair and not fair because they did get to the precipice and they won it, but at the same time, there's a lot of other factors that goes into it. Your teammates, your coaches, injuries, which injuries did play a big part this year. So this is not to take anything away from Giannis. As of right now, if I had to just give my fair answer on it, I only would say I would lean more to yes, because of Giannis' age. He's younger than the rest of the players that we deem best players in the league. He's and at the same time, he's still ascending. He's still getting better, and like I say, he adds like a consistent, just a consistent mid range. It's already kind of over, but if he adds like a consistent mid range, something that he can rely on, something like that, it's going to be completely over. He's going to be, yes, he's the best player, like clear cut. Right now, it's not all the way clear cut, and I only give him the edge right now because he left the finals with a great impression. Something that you really can't take away. He ended up having an all-time historically great game. I thought I wasn't going to see one like this again after KD did it in the previous round. Giannis came back and topped it. 50 points, 15 rebounds, 17 of 19 from the free throw, 5 blocks. I was in awe. If he scores like 4 or 6 points less, they lose this game. He did everything. He did it all. If he misses a couple of chase down blocks, they could have lost that game. He did it all. And kudos to him. So that's why I'm leaning more to yes right now because he has the youth on his side and the room to get better. Somebody has to prove otherwise. Somebody has to take it. We didn't get a level playing field in the playoffs because of injuries to major players, major stars. But at the same time, it is what it is. You have to play who was in front of you. The Suns, on the other hand, I felt like I do feel like the Bucks had to grind through a harder path than the Suns did. The Bucks had to play the Hawks, and they even had to play the Hawks like 2 or 3 games without Giannis, and they still pulled it off. They played the Nets, who were considered a super team. So if you lose one, it kind of evens it out. Yes, Harden wasn't all the way healthy, but people were saying the Nets were overwhelming favorites over everybody. So if you lose one and you still got a half a Harden, that means the playing field got leveled out for you guys right there. The Heat, they played the Heat, which I think they got all their players back, but Jimmy Butler still wasn't quite himself. He never looked quite right this year. The Lakers and the Heat, they never looked quite right after those. They were the last 2 teams standing and had to do a quick turnaround, come back to this season. But I still feel like the Bucks grinded out tougher games than what the Suns had to. The Suns avoided Kawhi Leonard. They avoided Jamal Murray. They avoided Anthony Davis and a hampered LeBron. So that they just basically had a cakewalk to the finals, and then karma caught up with them because the Suns fans were just completely just classless and just doing the most. I told y'all that y'all got lucky, and I wasn't I wasn't even trying to hate on your team or nothing like that, but uh, it's the fans and some of the media, idiots like Stephen A. Smith, just the karma came back on y'all. Point blank. You should have just rolled your Cinderella story out, and if you would have been a little bit more humble, you probably would have won. I'm just be honest with you. But y'all was sitting up there crying the whole time in the finals. Every call you were crying, not getting back. CP3 lunging at the refs every play, blaming this person, blaming that person. Then I seen him blaming DeAndre Ayton on the bench, trying to pump him up, basically deflecting blame on Ayton. You're a leader. Why would you do that? Uh, like I said, y'all wasn't helping him out. Y'all wasn't trying to instill no confidence in him. Nothing. But yet you wanted him to get out there and go toe to toe with a 2-time MVP in Giannis. Come on now. So y'all really kind of got what y'all deserved on that end. To be quite frank. And then you had people like Chris Broussard, which I don't completely disagree with all the time. He does say some good things, but him saying that Giannis is the only one that done this without a super team, I felt like that was completely disrespectful to Giannis's teammates, and Giannis slipped up, hicked up, had a hiccup and said it too, that he didn't have a super team. So I kind of get what he was saying, but at the same time, you got to be careful because you don't want to come off as dissing your teammates, because Jrue Holiday has been an all-star. Chris Middleton is still ascending. He's an all-star and ascending past an all-star. So you kind of do have close to a super team. It's not all the way Brooklyn Nets, but it's still pretty good. It's damn good. Brook Lopez is not no slouch the way he had been playing for y'all in the playoffs. Bobby Portis, I felt like he was the unsung hero too. Game 6. Yes, if Giannis doesn't give him that 50 piece, they could have lost. But at the same time, if Portis doesn't come in and provide 16 points off the bench, they lose. So they had a good squad, a very good squad. So I think it was just kind of random and just saying some off the wall stuff. Chris Broussard throwing some stuff against the wall to see if it'll stick. I didn't. He didn't have to say that. That was like, to me, it was halfway trying to throw shade at other players that are on great teams and stuff like that. So you're going to throw shade at Shaq for leaving Orlando and getting 3 rings with Kobe, with the Lakers. I mean, like, you're going to throw shade at Kareem for leaving Milwaukee and going to the Lakers and getting rings with Magic. Like, come on now. Like, that seemed like what they were trying to get at. Like, that was pointless and it didn't have to be said. But I got a ton of stuff coming up, guys, along with rumors surrounding the Lakers in our offseason. So, guys, stay locked in. Stay tuned for that. I'm trying to pump out these videos a little bit more. And that's pretty much it. So, y'all know what to do. Help this channel by like, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.